Welcome back. Now, my next guest is one of those people who make you feel very inadequate with your life when you look at his CV. He's done so much. Freeman Osonuga, you're a WIRE 2015 Innovation Fellow, Associate Fellow of the Royal Commonwealth Society, One Young World Ambassador, Founder and Executive Director, Heal the World Foundation. Recently completed a 6-month medical humanitarian mission to Sierra Leone as part of the AU's Ebola response team. 2014 Time Magazine Person of the Year, 2013 one of 10 outstanding young Nigerians. I'm tired. Freeman Osonuga, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Where did you have the time to do all of this?
I've started from when I was an undergraduate. You know, I'm self-motivated. I love to bring about changes in my environment. So I'm one of the young people around that believes that things don't have to be the way they are if we can make a change. Yeah. We don't always have to be complaining, you know. Yeah. So there's always something that we can do as young people, and that has always been my watchword.
Let's talk about this Ebola fight now, because I mean it was a big deal last year, and Sierra Leone was one of the hotbeds of the Ebola outbreak. And I know they've been declared Ebola free, is it?
No, not yet.
It's Liberia. Yeah, but it seems like it had another case or something like that. Where would you go to an Ebola hot spots, basically? Okay. What's motivated you to do that?
Okay. As an individual, I love to do a lot of charity works. In my, I'm motivated to do works about charity. I'm motivated to help the helpless. I've done a lot of charity works. So when the opportunity came to volunteer for Ebola, I'm a medical doctor also. Yeah. So I saw it as an opportunity to professionally help save lives. You know, when Ebola came to Nigeria, I work in Lutz. I'm a doctor in Lutz. When Ebola came to Nigeria, everybody was scared. I didn't work in the Lagos Ebola treatment centers, but my friends worked there, and none of them were infected. So when the opportunity came...
So you knew it was possible?
So I knew it was possible. It was relatively safe. Not 100% safe, very high risk. So I said, okay.
So how was the experience? You were there for 6 months.
Yeah.
How was the experience there, and how did it go generally?
It was a very dangerous thing to do. You know, it's only recently that I was able to tell some of my friends and colleagues that I actually went to do Ebola.
How many of them were scared of being around you after that?
Well, quite a number of them were even telling me, months after I came back, they're just getting to know now. They're just telling me now that, boy, if you had told us then, we'll have made sure you did not go on that mission. You know. But I mean, it was a good thing that you did. It was a good thing that you did. But how come you do all of this and keep it very quiet? Why? What motivates you to do these things and still not make noise about it? The essence of it, you know, the purpose of it is to help people, not to make noise about it. You know, the fulfillment I derive is if I'm able to help the helpless, if I'm able to help somebody that if I didn't help the person might not be able to do what they want to do or what they need to do. You know, so it's that fulfillment that I need. Not noise is not necessary.
What's your specialty in medicine?
No.
You're not specialized in?
I'm not yet. I've not specialized.
Is there something you're looking? Is this something you're looking at, or you're going to just continue with your 20,000 other jobs?
I want to do more humanitarian works.
Okay.
You know, I came from a very poor background. You know, don't mind my profile. You know, I came from a very, very humble background, and I want to be able to inspire other young people. Do you know the millions of children that are out of school in Nigeria? You know the millions of people that their mothers are doing petty trade to send them to school? So I want to be able to inspire those children that if you give your best to your academics, if you pursue your life dreams, you will be the best. You know, I'm a WIRE Innovation Fellow for 2015, and I'll be speaking in London this October. 3 of the other innovation fellows like me are from MIT, you know, and so the message there is, if we give it our best shots as young people, we can be the best. So that's.
Are there any other? Is there a possibility that you would also be doing like what you've done in Sierra Leone, maybe in Nigeria? I know we don't necessarily have an outbreak of anything serious, but I mean, polio is still it's gone almost now. We know we've had a full year without a new case from what we hear. There's the Guinea worm outbreak that happens once in a while. Do you ever look at, you know, doing sort of those things on that magnitude back home here? Yes,
I intend to do to specialize in public health.
Okay.
Why public health? So that we'll be able to implement policies that will affect millions of Nigerians. You know, things that affect people's life in millions, you know, stimulate my interest.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad that you mentioned public health there. I mean, healthcare in Nigeria has always been a serious issue. A lot of people even say it doesn't exist, pretty much, because you go to a lot of hospitals, especially government hospitals, equipments are almost non-existent. You go to the private ones, it's almost impossible to afford them. How do you think we can start taking healthcare more seriously? What sort of things should we do? Is it possible for individuals like you to actually make a difference?
Yes, we can actually make a difference. What we need to do is we need to understand that our healthcare system requires a lot of investments. We need to invest in our personnel. We need to invest in the system. You know, to become a doctor, you pass through medical school, you do house job, you do residency. You know, there's a lot of issues around that. But the government needs to invest heavily in our healthcare system, you know. And I think that's what we need to do to move it forward. There's a lot to be done. There's a whole lot to be done.
There is a whole lot to be done. Is there a possibility of, why I mentioned individuals is, I mean, we know that governments, most countries around the world, healthcare cannot necessarily be reformed without government. Yeah, but I mean, you are an advocate, of course, of things being done right. You know, you do charity work and all of that. What sorts of change can individuals make? Is there things that we can do on our own to start making things a little better? Okay. I ask that because, sorry to break you there, I mean, a lot of people have always complained about, you know, you go to hospitals, there's always sort of a nonchalant attitude from medical personnel there, not necessarily because it's their fault, but because the support from establishments isn't necessarily great, so there's no motivation to do. How do you keep that spirit up, you know, for people to...
Now, individuals can do a lot, because when we understand that governance, or they say democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. When we understand that this system is for us, is by us, and if we make it better, it will work for us. Individuals can critique the system, can make donations to support, because people will not be able to afford the type of health care that they require. And unfortunately in Nigeria, our government don't spend, quote and unquote, much on healthcare. Why? Because people cannot see it. So some government officials will rather spend more money, more budget funds on roads that can be seen, on structures that can be seen, but not healthcare. Why? Because if you do this, they cannot be seen. There are some of healthcare services that should still be free. You know, our under 5 mortality rate is incredibly high. Maternal mortality rate is incredibly high. Healthcare services to rural communities. There are quite a lot of people that are below poverty line. Despite that, they should have access to quality healthcare. So what individuals can do is, people that are well-to-do, philanthropists can support. They can make donations. Even in Western world, the government is not able to do everything by itself. There's no government in the world that is able to do that. But the discouraging part here is that, oh, government is not using all the money they are supposed to use. There's corruption here, you know. So individuals are not encouraged. But despite that, individuals should make donations to support the government. Government cannot do it alone. Definitely. At their best, government cannot do it alone. So the people should support in all ways that they can.